Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for this fourth installment. So far we've gone over our shoulder mobility drills, which is extremely important because our shoulder can and should be able to go into over 22,000 different positions because it's a ball and socket joint. Then we went over our thoracic mobility, also known as our upper back. We want to make sure that we're loose and mobile in our upper back because most of our life is spent in front of us, so we tend to crouch with our posture and close or collapse our chest. And that leads to a lot of dysfunction, and keeping our upper back mobile and loose leads us to feeling inspired, vital, and confident. Our third part of our program, we went over core mobility. Core mobility and our abdominal muscles being so extremely important to our posture and to our structural integrity, which means we're all bound to suffer from lower back pain at once or twice in our life. And I know for most people, it actually comes back more frequently than that. And that's all right. In fact, that's what's natural. What we need to do is we need to make sure that we have empowered tools within our belt that we can pull out and we can help ourselves. This way, we're not tethered to any one individual or service, but we are able and responsible to get ourselves out of pain. That's wrapping up our past three. Now in our fourth installment, we're going to be going over one of my favorite exercises, the shoulder push-ups. And I'm going to show you the basic element to the shoulder push-up, the shoulder movements, and this movement that I'm going to show you has a lot of progressions, as do all of the movements that I've shared with you here today. The shoulder push-ups are so integral into your body's need because of your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades actually sit on the back of your spine, and that's what helps stabilize and support your ball and socket inside of your shoulder. And that keeps from your arm hyperextending when your arm's above your head and it goes backwards. That's a part of what allows pitchers to throw so fast, quarterbacks to throw a ball, and also for us to swing a bat in a smooth manner for softball or baseball and also golf. So our shoulder blades are extremely important for leisure activities. It's also important for our everyday posture. Everything that's in front of us, we fixate our shoulder blades, again the back side of our back, to help stabilize as we pick things up. What commonly happens, and this is what I see in my practice and in 99% of the population, is our shoulder blades begin to diminish the amount that they're able to move. What does that mean? That means that they're only exposed to maybe 5 or 10 different movements throughout the year. Well, that means that dramatically over time, we begin to lose the mobility that's happening in our upper shoulder girdle, which has to do with our shoulder blades. And I see this in individuals with shoulder pain, elbow pain, hands, necks, and it really always boils down to the shoulder blades. And an amazing muscle you have there called your serratus anterior, which also has posterior fibers, which I won't bore you with the anatomy portion of things, but those are the muscles that are right here on the inside of our arm that help the shoulder blades communicate. They help the shoulder blades communicate to the rest of the body. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this movement and then we'll discuss it further. So I'm going to get on the table that I have set up behind me here, and I'm going to go onto my hands and to my knees. Now it's going to be a little difficult for you to see the lower part of my body, so I'm going to describe my setup. My hands are just below my shoulders. My hips are just above my knees. My head, my shoulders, and my hips are all in a straight line, and this creates a box-like structure. And you can use a mirror at home to know if you're in the right position. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that my hands and my knees are separated the same distance apart. And I'm going to drop my chest down. Now I'm not going to drop my chest down into a turtle position, but I'm literally going to allow my chest to lower towards the ground, and as I do that, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back in together. Now my arms are still straight. I still have equal pressure between all of my hands and all of my knees. The only difference is my shoulder blades are being squeezed together. And as I push the ground away, you can see the travel here in the video of how much movement that I'm having, and that is only taking place within my spine and within the communication of my shoulder blades. As I come all the way to the top and I'm pushing the ground away as far as possible, you notice how my lower back, my abdominal muscles and my glutes are not really moving. I'm locating just my shoulder blades and I'm doing what's called protraction, where I push them out as far as possible. You know that you're here because your arms and your shoulder blades are nice and flat. My arms are straight down, flat like nature, and my upper back is flat all the way across if I were to have somebody touch. And then as I lower myself down, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades back in together. So I'm moving in a nice smooth line as I go up and as I come down. I'm going to come off the table here. And now I'm going to show you what this looks like standing up. So if my arms were straight out in front of me, and I were to draw my shoulder blades back in together, and I were to push my arms all the way straight back out, the only portion of my body that's moving are my shoulder blades. You can check how to do this if I was here in front of this video and I were to pull my right arm back and make my right hand shorter than my left. The only way that I was able to do that is because of the movement in my shoulder blades. From a posterior view, my shoulder blades are back and together, and now I'm pushing them all the way apart. My arms straight out in front of me, back and together, my arms back as well. Now pushing my arms away, my shoulder blades out so my upper back is flat. That is a really important feature in our body. That allows for most of our upper body movement. And so commonly while I'm working with individuals, it's a very difficult movement for people to learn how to be able to do. It's so difficult in the beginning because it's so unnatural from what we do on a day-to-day basis. On a normal variety of posture, picking things up, eating, drinking, whatever hand we may be, driving, whatever side that we lean to, or working at a computer, all of that means little to no movement in our upper shoulder blades or our upper shoulder girdle. The movement that I just showed you on the table here, and I showed you standing up, the shoulder push-ups, start to allow your mind and your brain to recommunicate with those muscles that have become dormant for a lack of use. It's almost like these muscles have amnesia. So by putting yourself in this position, it really allows your mind to wake up and your body to wake up. And turning those muscles on in the morning and the evening time allows your body to feel this kind of supercharge all day in through the evening while you're sleeping. Because you're engaging the muscles and the movement that's so integral to your body. As a human, we need our shoulders for everyday life. And this is an exercise, my favorite exercise to share with individuals. There are a lot of progressions that you'll be able to find out there, and I'll share with you in future videos. For now, this is a great place to start. Now again, let's go over how to integrate this movement into our life. In the morning time, I want you to do it for 1 minute. On all fours, your hands straight out in front of you, directly down from your shoulders, your knees right below your hips, and your head, your shoulders, and your hips in one straight line. And that will create a box. From there, you're able to differentiate. What does that mean? You're able to just move your shoulder blades and allow your shoulder blades to be responsible for your body's movement. So we're trying to tease apart a piece of your body and help your mind become reintegrated into its movement. And I believe this is extremely important. 99% of the people that I run into, clients, whether they be professional athletes, stay-at-home moms, or fathers and dads, or the business executive, nurses, physical therapists, and chiropractors all benefit from this movement because so commonly we have postural fixations depending on what our environment and our job needs. Thank you for joining me for this 4th installment of our program for the shoulder push-ups, and I look forward to you joining me for our 5th installment where I show you how to use the Theracane to help mobilize at a deeper muscular level your shoulders. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you really soon. Thank you.